Unlocking the secrets of the Emerald Tablets. Imagine if everything in your life, every challenge, every triumph, every person you've ever met, was not random, but carefully chosen before your birth. Imagine that your soul, before entering this world, selected its experiences to learn, evolve, and ultimately ascend. This profound concept is central to many esoteric traditions and is deeply rooted in the teachings of Thoth, the legendary figure behind the Emerald Tablets. Thoth, the Atlantean priest king, is said to have inscribed the Emerald Tablets, which contain the foundational wisdom of the universe. These ancient teachings reveal how consciousness shapes reality, how energy manifests, and how souls can transcend the cycle of reincarnation. By understanding and applying these lessons, you can unlock the hidden potential within you and activate your cosmic power. Let us embark on a transformative journey through these 35 lessons, drawing from the wisdom of Thoth's Emerald Tablets. Lesson 1. Consciousness precedes physical form at first. The alchemy of Thoth's Emerald Tablets reveal that consciousness is the prima materia, the foundational essence from which reality crystallizes. This principle, as above, so below, suggests that the mind's activity shapes the external world, a truth echoed in modern quantum physics through the observer effect, where particles remain as probabilities until observed. The concept of mental alchemy, as described in the tablets, emphasizes that every thought emits a frequency, structuring the quantum field, a notion supported by a 2022 MIT study demonstrating the influence of consciousness on matter. The builder gods, ancient beings described in the tablets, were said to shape reality through sound keys, resonant frequencies that mirror modern cymatics research, where sound waves visibly organize particles into structured patterns. This knowledge offers practical wisdom, suggesting that by stilling the mind and refining thoughts, one can shape a harmonious reality. Neuroscientific studies on neuroplasticity confirm that chaotic thinking breeds disorder, while disciplined thought refines neural pathways, enhancing clarity and purpose. Lesson 2. Time forms cycles. The cosmic pendulum, the nature of time according to the tablets, follows a cyclical rather than linear pattern, moving in a toroidal flow. This perspective aligns with historian Oswald Spengler's theory that civilizations rise and fall in predictable cycles. Thoth teaches that time itself functions as a pendulum, with history repeating in archetypal patterns, a concept reflected in the 26,000-year precession cycle of the equinoxes, which astronomers have confirmed as marking distinct spiritual epochs. This insight is not merely theoretical but deeply practical. Sages and strategists throughout history have tracked planetary alignments and lunar phases to ride the cycles effectively. Even in modern times, Wall Street analysts utilize cycle theory to predict financial trends, showing that understanding temporal rhythms remains essential for navigating life's fluctuations. Lesson 3. Death as transition. The phoenix process, death rather than an end, is a transformation, a concept deeply embedded in Thoth's initiatory teachings. Dying is but the passing from one room to another, he proclaims, mirroring modern insights from quantum consciousness theory. The tablets explain that consciousness is an energy form that cannot be destroyed, only transmuted, aligning with the law of thermodynamics. Dr. Stuart Hameroff's research on quantum consciousness suggests that human awareness persists in a quantum state even after physical death, reinforcing Thoth's teachings. The concept of the Akashic Records, a vast ethereal repository of all experiences, also finds resonance in physicist David Bohm's implicate order, which suggests that the universe stores information holographically. Practical wisdom derived from these insights includes the practice of death meditation, or memento mori, a discipline employed by ancient Egyptian priests and modern thanatologists alike to dissolve the fear of mortality, allowing for a more liberated existence. Lesson 4. Life Force Channels Mori. Thoth, the lightning of the gods. The tablets also unveil an advanced understanding of energy flow within the human body. describing the vital fire that courses through unseen channels. This ancient knowledge correlates with contemporary biofield science, which measures the human body's electromagnetic resonance at 7.83 Hz, the same frequency as Earth's Schumann resonance, as recorded by NASA. Moreover, Thoth's teachings on prana, the life force, find validation in quantum tunneling, where energy moves through microtubules, a phenomenon explored by Nobel laureate Roger Penrose. These insights have practical applications, such as the breath of fire technique, which has been shown in 2021 studies at the University of Florida to increase ATP production, enhancing cellular energy. Similarly, ancient pyramid postures amplify bioelectricity, as evidenced by Kirlian photography, while copper serpent staffs, akin to those used by Thoth, are known to conduct subtle energies, a concept explored in Russian torsion field research. Lesson 5. Balance as cosmic law. The universe operates on the principle of balance, a law reflected in every aspect of existence. Light and darkness, masculine and feminine, expansion and contraction, each force complements the other, creating the dynamic equilibrium that sustains all life. Thoth's teachings emphasize that mastery is achieved not by resisting one side of the spectrum, but by harmonizing both. This concept finds a parallel in modern physics, where matter and antimatter exist in perfect symmetry, and in biology, where homeostasis maintains stability within the body. Those who live out of balance, whether emotionally, mentally, or physically, experience turmoil, as the natural order seeks to restore equilibrium through crisis or correction. In contrast, those who consciously align with cosmic balance gain inner peace and amplified creative power. Ancient initiates were taught practical methods to cultivate this equilibrium, from sacred breathwork balancing left and right brain hemispheres, to meditative disciplines that unify the conscious and subconscious mind. Even in contemporary neuroscience, achieving emotional regulation is linked to coherence in brainwave patterns, proving that cosmic balance is as much an internal process as it is an external one. Lesson 6. Emotional disorder and physical chaos. The mind is the architect of reality, and emotional discord inevitably manifests as external chaos. Thoth's teachings warn that every thought, unresolved trauma, or suppressed fear shapes the experiences one encounters in the material world. This principle mirrors findings in psychosomatic medicine, where prolonged stress or emotional disorder leads to physical illness. Ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience agree that thoughts and emotions are not passive. They actively condition the body's biochemistry, neural structures, and even the energy fields surrounding a person. This is why sages and mystics have long emphasized inner harmony as the key to external stability. Practical applications of this knowledge include mindfulness practices that regulate emotional turbulence, somatic healing techniques that release stored trauma, and visualization methods that reprogram subconscious belief systems. By consciously cultivating mental and emotional order, one restores balance not only to personal life but also to the environment they influence, a concept supported by the study of collective consciousness and morphic resonance in quantum biology. Lesson 7. The transformative power of fire. Fire is the great purifier, the force of destruction and rebirth, a principle deeply embedded in alchemical traditions. Just as fire refines metal by burning away impurities, life's challenges refine the soul, stripping away illusions and weaknesses to reveal inner strength. Thoth's teachings compare trials and tribulations to the sacred fire of initiation, necessary for spiritual evolution. In ancient mystery schools, initiates underwent symbolic trials by fire to test their resilience and readiness for higher knowledge. This principle is reflected in modern psychology, where post-traumatic growth theory suggests that adversity, when approached with awareness, leads to profound transformation. Even at a biological level, stress, when harnessed correctly, stimulates adaptation, strengthening the body and mind. Practical wisdom derived from this concept includes controlled exposure to discomfort, such as cold therapy, fasting, or rigorous disciplines, all of which trigger growth responses in the nervous system. Those who embrace their struggles as catalysts for evolution accelerate their mastery, much like carbon under extreme pressure transforms into a diamond. Lesson 8. Knowledge and application. Wisdom is not measured by how much one knows but by how much one applies. Thoth teaches that knowledge without action is futile, as true mastery comes from lived experience, not intellectual accumulation. This principle aligns with modern educational psychology, which emphasizes experiential learning as the most effective method of skill acquisition. Throughout history, initiatory traditions required students not only to study sacred teachings but to embody them through rigorous practice. The Hermetic axiom, "as within so without," suggests that internalized wisdom must be demonstrated through external deeds. Neuroscientific research on skill acquisition confirms that repeated action strengthens neural pathways, making wisdom an ingrained part of one's being. Practical applications of this teaching include setting daily practices to apply newfound insights, engaging in self-discipline to integrate spiritual principles, and refining personal habits to align with higher knowledge. Only through consistent action does information transform into power, allowing the seeker to manifest their highest potential. Lesson 9. Light and darkness. Light and darkness are not adversaries but complementary forces in the grand design of existence. Thoth's wisdom teaches that both are essential for spiritual growth, as one must experience darkness to fully comprehend the nature of light. This concept is echoed in Jungian psychology, where shadow work, the process of integrating repressed aspects of the self, is crucial for personal wholeness. Many spiritual traditions illustrate this duality: the yin-yang of Taoism, the balance of Shiva and Shakti in Hinduism, and the interplay of good and evil in mythological narratives. In the natural world, night and day, birth and decay, creation and destruction all serve a greater harmony. The path to wisdom requires understanding and embracing one's own darkness, rather than fearing it. Practical wisdom from this lesson includes self-inquiry practices to confront unconscious fears, ritual purification to transmute negative energies, and meditative techniques to cultivate inner light. By recognizing that challenges and struggles serve as teachers, one can transcend dualistic thinking and attain true spiritual enlightenment. Lesson 10. Unity of light and darkness. True enlightenment is not the eradication of darkness, but the conscious integration of both light and shadow. Suppressing darkness leads to inner fragmentation, creating imbalance that manifests as psychological distress or external turmoil. Thoth's teachings emphasize that shadow work, facing and transforming one's fears, desires, and unconscious patterns, is essential for empowerment. This principle aligns with Carl Jung's theory of individuation, where true self-realization occurs only when one embraces the entirety of their being. In physics, light and darkness are not opposites but interdependent. Darkness is simply the absence of light, and both are needed for depth and contrast in perception. Mystical traditions, from Kabbalistic teachings on the dark night of the soul to Buddhist practices of mindfulness, guide seekers toward transmutation rather than suppression. Practical applications include meditative self-inquiry, dream analysis, and energy work to integrate subconscious aspects into conscious awareness. Those who walk this path emerge with heightened wisdom, resilience, and the ability to wield their full potential. Lesson 11. Physical reality as vibration at its core. Reality is not solid but vibrational. Everything, from the smallest atom to the grandest celestial body, exists in a state of constant oscillation. Thoth's wisdom aligns with modern quantum mechanics, where matter is understood as condensed energy vibrating at different frequencies. The Emerald Tablets teach that by consciously raising one's frequency through thought, action, and intent, one aligns with higher states of existence and gains mastery over their reality. This is supported by studies on brainwave frequencies, showing that states of love, gratitude, and clarity elevate vibrational resonance, leading to enhanced physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Ancient practices such as mantra chanting, sound healing, and sacred movement were designed to harmonize vibrational fields. Practical applications include breath control, music therapy, and mindfulness techniques that shift personal frequency, allowing for greater manifestation power and spiritual attunement. Lesson 12. Order from chaos. The universe is not a static structure, but a self-organizing system, perpetually moving from chaos to order and back again. Thoth's teachings reveal that disorder is not the end but a precursor to higher forms of creation. This principle mirrors chaos theory in physics, where seemingly random patterns give rise to intricate, organized systems, such as the fractal structures found in nature. The concept of creative destruction in economics also reflects this law, demonstrating that innovation emerges from disruption. The tablets emphasize that those who resist change suffer, while those who embrace transformation thrive. This wisdom is reflected in Taoist philosophy, which teaches flowing with, rather than against, the natural rhythms of life. Practical applications include developing adaptability, surrendering rigid attachments, and cultivating resilience through meditative and mental training, allowing one to harness chaos as a force of evolution rather than fear it. Lesson 13. Curved space. Space is not an empty void, but a living dynamic fabric that bends and warps under the influence of cosmic forces. Thoth's teachings reveal that those who understand the malleability of space-time can develop higher dimensional perception, where movement beyond linear constraints becomes possible. This concept was later confirmed by Einstein's general relativity, which describes gravity as the warping of space-time, rather than a simple force of attraction. Mystical traditions have long taught that advanced consciousness allows one to transcend conventional perceptions of time and space, as seen in the practices of astral travel, remote viewing, and lucid dreaming. Practical applications include sacred geometry studies, visualization techniques that expand spatial awareness, and meditative states that enhance non-local perception, ultimately granting access to deeper dimensions of reality. Lesson 14. Balancing polar energies. Existence is governed by the law of polarity, opposing forces that when balanced create wholeness. Thoth's teachings emphasize that mastery is achieved not by choosing one side over the other, but by harmonizing both logic and intuition, strength and gentleness, action and stillness. This principle is reflected in ancient Taoist philosophy, where yin and yang are seen as interdependent, rather than conflicting. Neuroscientific studies confirm that optimal cognitive function arises from balanced interaction between the left logical and right intuitive hemispheres of the brain. Sacred practices such as pranayama breathing, Tai Chi and Kundalini activation work to unify these dual aspects within the self. Practical wisdom includes integrating structured discipline with creative flow, merging rational analysis with deep intuition, and cultivating physical, emotional, and energetic equilibrium. Lesson 15. Earth as a conscious entity. Thoth's wisdom reveals that Earth is not merely a physical mass but a sentient, evolving intelligence that interacts with all life upon it. Modern geophysics and indigenous spiritual traditions align with this perspective, recognizing that Earth's energy fields, such as the Schumann resonance, 7.83 Hz, synchronize with human brain waves. Studies in biophilia and earthing suggest that direct contact with nature has profound healing effects on the human nervous system. Ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Mayans, built their temples in alignment with Earth's ley lines, demonstrating their understanding of planetary consciousness. Practical applications of this wisdom include grounding techniques, meditative communion with nature, and rituals that synchronize human energy with the planet's rhythms, fostering greater vitality and connection to higher intelligence. Lesson 16. The Flower of Life Pattern. The blueprint of creation follows a precise mathematical and geometric structure, with the flower of life being the most fundamental of these patterns. Found in ancient temples and encoded in the architecture of sacred sites worldwide, this intricate design is composed of interlocking circles, forming the basis for all living structures, from DNA to galaxies. Thoth's teachings reveal that understanding sacred geometry grants insight into the mechanics of reality itself. Modern research in fractal mathematics and cymatics confirms that these geometric principles underpin the organization of matter and energy. Practical applications include studying geometric meditation symbols, constructing energy grids, and applying proportional harmonics in design, architecture, and spiritual practice to enhance resonance with universal order.